Alright, welcome again. This is the AAZSS Trading Academy, and today we'll be talking about leverage in trading. Right? What is leverage in trading? So in the previous videos, we've talked about the basics and what you need to know, the real basics. Right? So please don't miss out. Go back to the videos, the previous videos, and learn more. Revise, review the video again, and learn more. So, but today we're talking about leverage in trading. Right? So over to the next slide. Now, leverage is a ratio that shows how much more capital you can control with your actual money, right? How much capital you can control with your actual money. So some common leverage ratios are 1 to 50, 1 to 100, 1 to 200, 1 to 500, 1 to 1,000, right? So remember, we've talked about the real basics, what you need to know, the pips, and remember I said in the previous video, if you watch and you follow the previous video, you where I made sure that we the speculators, we don't have enough, we don't have billions to trade in the market, right? So but there are strategies we use, right? So one of the strategies and one of the tools is leverage, right? So leverage, it shows us how much more capital we can control with our actual money, right? And I just these are the common ratios of leverage. We are 1 to 50, 1 to 100, 1 to 200, 1 to 500, 1 to 1,000. So if your account has $100, $100, and you use a 1 to 100 leverage, you can trade a position worth up to $10,000, right? You can trade a position up to $10,000. You understand that, right? So multiply it. So you have $100. Okay, you have $100. You use a 1 to 100, 1 to 100 leverage, right? That means you can trade position worth up to $10,000, right? So with this, with the help of this leverage, you're not trading like someone that have yeah an $100, right? So you are trading with this leverage. It helps you to take positions that's worth up to $10,000. See, that's very amazing. That's one of the tools we enjoy as retail traders, right? So the formulas are the leverage, calculate the leverage, the position size, right? Remember I talk about that's the position size, the lot size, divided by the margin required, right? So it lets you open larger trades than your capital would normally allow. You understand that? So over to the next slide. Now, how leverage work with examples. So, the first example here, you have a $100 account with 1 to 100 leverage. You can open trades up to $10,000 in volume, right? That's with 0.10 lots. Remember, that's mini lots. You understand that? We'll talk about that in the previous video. Please go back and wash again, right? This the next example here. For example, you have an account of $500 and you are going with a 1 to 500 leverage, right? That means the calculation there is $500 multiplied by 500, right? That means you can trade, you can open trade worth $250,000, right? That is a 2.5 standard lot, very huge position size. You understand that? So leverage helps us to trade more than what we have, right? More than the actual money we have, right? So leverage affects how big our trade can be, okay, which directly affects how much we gain or lose per pip. You understand, right? So remember I talk about risk, right? So leverage can help you trade bigger, can help you get much gain, and also can help you get more losses, right? So you need to be careful of how you use leverage. You need to be careful of how you use leverage. So as we go on, we will see how we are able to open an account and how we are able to set our leverage, right? Averagely, so it won't be too much and it won't be small. You understand that? So leverage affect how big your trade is, how much you gain or lose. So it's on both sides. Don't just say because leverage help me to trade more than my account. Let me just put in this lot size and no, right? They are disciplined manner we follow in trading, right? So we'll take it step by step. Don't rush yourself. On to the next slide. Right? Leverage, risk, smart leverage use, right? Leverage and risk, smart leverage use. Now, leverage increases both profit and loss. I said that in the previous slide, right? Gains 10%, gains 10 pips at $10 per and risk. Smart leverage use. Leverage increases both profit and loss. I said that in the previous slide. So you gain 10 pips at $10 per pip. That's $100 profit. So when you lose 10 pips per at $10 per pip, that is $100 loss. So if your account is $100, you lose $100, you are out automatically. That's why risk is important, right? So that's why more leverage is more risk, right? And more risk, less room for mistakes. So use leverage for with proper risk management, right? I always say that use leverage with proper risk management, not because say leverage is an opportunity for you to trade bigger, then you make you use less the opportunity, right? You need to make use of the risk management properly. And here's how we can do that, right? The first one over here is never risk more than 1 to 2% of your capital. Yes, very, very much possible. People say many things about trading, and they say trading you lose all your money. You don't. It's for people that are rich enough. It's for people. Yeah, that's true. But when you get to learn the real basic, you understand that with the right risk management and with the right mindset, right, you don't need to be rich. You don't need to have billions, right, to trade forex, right? So a very good first, the first good example about risk management here is never risk more than 1 to 2% of your capital per trade, right? So when you have $100 account, you want to do 1% of it, right? Do not lose more than 1 to 2%. Do not risk more than 1 to 2% of your capital per trade, right? And you can do that. Even in the previous video, I talk about the stop loss and the take profit, right? So the stop loss help you minimize losses. So, for example, you can set your stop loss 2% of my account, and once markets go against you to your stop loss, you are out automatically, right? So it saves you for the next day. You understand that? So let's just go on. The second one is choose your lot size carefully based on your leverage. Choose your lot size carefully. I talked about the lot size in the previous video. Please go back and learn it. Right? Choose your lot size carefully based on your leverage. Use your stop loss always. Right? Don't get greed, decide your lot size. Don't let greed decide your lot size. Right? When you're too greedy and you're just going, oh guy, I'm gonna hit this trade, right? Just go and just put in like 5 standard lots, right? With just a $50 account, you can imagine what the kind of risk you're putting on your account, right? So just because your broker gave 1 to 1,000 leverage doesn't mean you must use it all, right? Doesn't mean you must use it all. You understand that? So leverage is very, very important, and I want us to get it right. The next on the slide here is margin and margin call. So margin is the amount of money, is the amount of your money you use to maintain a leverage trade. I'll read it again. Margin is the amount of money you use to maintain leverage trade. So if your trade go against you and your equity drops too low, you will face a margin call. Right? That margin call means that your broker will call you, right? Or they'll warn you either by notification or any other means that they'll warn you or close your trade to protect itself, right? They'll call you, or once you receive a margin call, it is not good. In this academy, we don't receive margin call, right? We don't receive margin call. You understand that? So margin call is when a broker warns you or close your trade to protect itself, right? So we don't receive margin call because with our AAZSH indicator, we are beating the market, beating the market, beating the market. So we are getting there step by step. So just take your time and learn the basic. So the example we have here is you have $100 and open a big trade using 1 to 1,000 leverage. That's huge, right? Trade goes against you, you lose 90% of your capital. Broker or to close your trade, that is a margin call. Please, I want you guys to get this right. Get this right. When we talk about margin call, this is just an example. You have a $100 account and you open a big trade using 1 to 1,000 leverage on a standard lot size. And trade goes against you. For example, you place a buy and trade go against you, right? You lose without your stop loss. Imagine you put your stop loss 90% of your capital. So when trade go against you and you lose 90% of your capital, the broker close the trade itself, right? They want to close your trade for you. That is margin call, right? That's margin call. Please take note of this. They are very important, right? The risk management one of the important aspects in trading, in forex trading, right? One of the most important aspects. So let's recap this one. Leverage lets you trade big, but it's a double-edged sword. Please take note of that, right? It's good, it lets you trade big, lets you get bigger profits with your with any amount of capital you have, right? But please, it is a double-edged sword, right? Now use it wisely with risk management. I'll talk about that. The third one is never let greed control your lot size, and understand the relationship between leverage, lot size, and peak value, right? Very important. Understand the relationship. Please, you can always ask question. Go to our website, zsstraders.com, message us via WhatsApp, ask your questions, we'll attend to you promptly, right?